Thank you, Katie, and welcome everyone to this year's exciting competition. We have 8 great companies with 8 innovative ideas, all competing for the top prize of $10,000. The second place finisher will be awarded $4,000, and third place will take home $2,000. Here's how the contest works. Specific judging criteria has been shared with all of the contestants and our panel of judges. The contestants will have 4 minutes each to pitch their great idea to our panel. Then we'll have a short time for Q&A. So now, let's meet our judges.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hamlin from Under Armour. I lead our open innovation practice there at our global headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland. I spend the majority of my time looking for new startups, inventors, entrepreneurs, bring those back to the business and see if there's a fit toward commercialization.
I'm Chris Barnes. I'm our SVP of Corporate Development here at Synago. I lead some of our industry partnerships and looking for great partners, great different people in the ecosystem and innovative companies to work with.
Hi, I'm Rich Malloy, a partner at Springtime Ventures and the VP of Engagement at Established. We have a program called the Startup of the Year program where we help startups from all over the world get access to the resources that they need to succeed.
Hi, I'm Leslie Oliver Karpus. I'm the head of digital manufacturing at Stanley X, the research and innovation arm of Stanley Black & Decker, where we both create startups, invest in startups, and acquire them. And then once upon a time, I was the winner of this competition for my prior startup, Lexset, just a couple of years ago, and I'm very excited to be here to judge it this go-round.
And before we begin, I want to remind everyone watching, you can cast a vote for your favorite idea. Under polls, on the right side of your screen, you'll find the poll where you can vote for the audience favorite. The poll is open till 1 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to get your vote in before time runs out. Well, if the judges are ready, Katie, who's our first contestant?
Reed, our first presenter is Jerome Dorchemont, founder and chief revenue officer of Yonsfer in Darien, Connecticut.
Yonsfer is helping companies reach across multiple markets by accepting all major global wallets with a simple integration. Jerome, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Yonsfer's mission is to enable U.S. retailers to maximize sales from global markets by accepting their preferred payment methods of Asian customers as well as younger demographics. Meet John, the head of payments for a major U.S. retailer. He's aware of Chinese customers' interest in his company's products, but frustrated that his sales to Chinese consumers remain stubbornly low. John finally realized Asian consumers were abandoning their carts, or even worse, walking next door to a competitor that accepted Alipay or WeChat Pay. After doing more research, he discovered that U.S. retailers' inability to process Asian digital wallets resulted in a $200 billion missed revenue opportunity each year. At least he wasn't alone. Asian consumers buy $140 billion worth of U.S. goods each year, yet less than 1% of retailers accept their preferred payment methods. This is also a growing space as cross-border e-commerce represents 20% of global e-commerce, with a 29% compound annual growth rate, twice that of domestic e-commerce. Yonsfer is the payment platform that enables U.S. retailers to accept Asian consumers' preferred payment methods. With a single integration into their point of sale or e-commerce site, Yonsfer enables retailers to seamlessly receive payment from all major global wallets. We lower the payment barrier between U.S. retailers and Asian consumers, allowing retailers to unlock lost sales and boost conversions. There are no upfront costs to retailers. We charge them a flat fee per transaction, and we only make money when they make money. One simple integration in a retailer's point of sale enables all major wallets in 2 weeks. When the customer goes to check out in-store, they present their QR code via the digital wallet, such as Alipay or PayPal, and then the payment syncs with the retailer's point of sale. Our contactless solution is not only the method Asian customers are most accustomed to, but it is also a welcome precaution during the pandemic and sure to be commonplace going forward. The online process is even simpler. The integration for the retailer takes as little as 1 day. When the customer goes to check out online, they simply choose the preferred payment method at checkout, complete an authentication in the payment app, and their payment is processed. Our transaction volume has been growing 11% month over month, and we are processing over 200 million in transaction volume this year. We have onboarded 2,000 merchants to our platform, and our pipeline is robust. And in the last few months, we've onboarded 3 key merchants, including Nayax, 111 Skin, and Xenia. We are set to become the go-to payment platform for omni-channel brands operating internationally. Our product suite is constantly expanding to include new channel integrations, new digital wallets, including cryptocurrencies, and launch of our global payout functionality to enable retailers' influencer campaigns. Today, we are excited to announce that we are strategic partners with PayPal to support PayPal and Venmo QR payments in stores. We'll now be able to provide 70 million active Venmo users and 377 million active PayPal users the ability to transact in a safer and more efficient manner with our QR payments across the United States. We are managed by a seasoned team with diverse backgrounds in fintech and information technology. I co-founded a data integration startup and was a currency trader on Wall Street. Mason is a Chinese-American repeat entrepreneur on his third fintech company. We are supported by an impressive set of investors and advisors from Panoramic Ventures, XRC Labs, Prada, Valentino, Armani, as well as our strategic partnership with Alipay as their preferred payment processor. Just as GS1 is an enabler of commerce through its standards, Wansper strives to promote cross-border commerce by taking friction out of payments. Thanks to Wansper, customers can now enjoy shopping with their.
That's it. That's all the time we had, Jerome. I'm so sorry. I thought it was going to happen right on time. I have to tell you, that was a great presentation, and I see that the judges do have questions, so let's go to them now. Rich, I see that you have a question. Why don't you go first?
Great. Thank you. Jerome, great presentation. That was excellent. My initial question is, why doesn't a retailer just sign up for Alipay, integrate that themselves, and they can cover 50 to 60% of the market out of the gate?
So that's a great question. Really, our strongest value proposition is that we've aggregated all these various digital wallets. So instead of having to do 15 separate integrations with all these distinct digital wallets, you do a single integration with us, and we enable Alipay on top of 12 other digital wallets. And that should be closer to 30 additional digital wallets by the end of this year. So our value proposition is really that we're making you future-proof, and we're taking what could be multiple integrations and making it into a single integration.
Excellent, excellent. Leslie, I see that you have a question. Go next.
Jerome, great presentation, really enjoyed it. My question's around how you defend yourself from competitors. The wallet space is getting very hot right now. There are new entrants coming in from the crypto space, from the fintech space, from the retail space. How do you defend against other aggregators?
So that's a great question. It's really so we're constantly adding new digital wallets to our suite of offerings, but it's not only pay in, we are also starting to facilitate payouts, as well as we're helping a lot of these retailers create a more localized shopping experience. So we can actually put their e-commerce sites directly into these digital wallets, which really results in a much more localized and increased traffic to these retailers' e-commerce platforms.
Excellent. Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for questions right now. Jerome, best of luck in the competition. Katie, who's our next contestant?
Our next pitch is from Jim Bark from New York City. Jim is the founder of Kismet.
Kismet is looking to gamify your shopping experience, making it beneficial for everyone. The shopper, the brand, the retailer. Jim, it's all yours.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Jim Bark. I'm the founder of Kismet, a retail app that gamifies shopping to help retailers better engage their in-store customers and collect shopping behavior data. Brick and mortar retail has an e-commerce problem. I know this is an obvious statement, but retail needs to understand that they need to do a couple things to compete against e-commerce. One, it needs to address its data disadvantage. Two, it needs to realize that e-commerce is the common enemy and that they need to act collectively to compete. E-commerce players know everything about their customers from the moment they log on to the moment they check out. Brick and mortar retail, though, doesn't know who their customers are when they walk into their store. They don't know what the customer wants to buy, and they don't know what they're willing to pay. Kismet helps bridge this data gap. On the market today, there are many different types of systems to help retailers collect data, but they all need the retailers to install expensive hardware to set up and operate. They also use proxy data, such as where a customer pauses in the store or what they look at, to guess what the customer is interested in. Kismet is an app. we don't have a hardware component, so our costs are a fraction of these other systems. And because the customer is directly informing us of what they're interested in, our data is more accurate. Kismet is a treasure hunt app where the customers treasure are individual discounts and items that they are interested in. The features about Kismet are that it's a single app shared by multiple retailers. We've gamified the discounting process, and customers can share discounts that they won with their friends. All of this allows us to accurately collect data on what the customer is interested in, how much they're willing to pay, and who their influencers are. We believe that retailers have to act as a community if they're going to survive and compete in the age of e-commerce. But they need a tool to act collectively. Kismet is this tool. When a customer using Kismet walks into a partner store, the app skins to be that store's app during the duration of her visit. When she walks to the next store, it reskins again and becomes that store's app, and so on and so on. So now retailers can share a community of shoppers, much like a shopping mall on an app. It's a network effect. Kismet works by allowing the customer to scan a GS1 barcode of an item that they picked up into the app. And when she does so, she's directly informing us that she's interested in this item. When the product page pops up, she's offered a chance to play for a discount, but she only gets 10 plays per visit. If she actively decides to use this discount on the product that she picked up, then that's a strong indication of her interest. The game itself is just a scratching one. Here, she won 10%, and that comes to her in the form of a single-use barcode that can be scanned at checkout. Once she uses it, or after 2 hours, it expires and cannot be used again. Why is Kismet needed? Because Kismet helps retailers regain pricing power at an individual customer basis. How? Because if you know that customer's interests, what products she's interested in, what she's willing to pay, and what her purchase history is, then you now have pricing power with respect to this customer. Kismet is a startup. We're currently beta testing at 2 stores, one in the World Trade Center Oculus in Manhattan, and one in the Westfield Valley Fair Mall in Silicon Valley. If you want to know who your customers are, what they want to buy, and how much they're willing to pay, if you want to regain pricing power and convert browsers into buyers, then we would like to partner with you. I'm Jim Bark. I'm from Kismet. Thank you.
Great job, Jim. Couple seconds to spare as well. Now let's go to the judges for some Q&A. Lauren, why don't we start with your question? Go ahead.
Great, thanks, Reed. Jim, great presentation. I'm curious, do you have any data on conversion rates on people who actually scan and actually go through with buying the product?
Thank you, Lauren. As I mentioned, we're a startup. We've only been in these stores for a couple months now. And the one store in the World Trade Center Oculus in particular has not had a ton of volume yet because not a lot of people have come back to New York City yet for work. So out of the right now about 500 people who have downloaded the app, we know that we've given out about 250 discounts. So that's kind of one metric, but it's still early stage that we don't have a ton of data.
Excellent. Thank you both. Chris, why don't we go to you next?
Yeah, Jim, great job. I guess from my point of view, what's some of the data points that you think about collecting from the shopper, and what else do you think you could do with some of that data points down the line as well?
So I mentioned that we collect browsing interests, which is basically what the customer wants to buy. The other thing that we think is valuable and very hard to collect currently is how much this customer is willing to pay. And we get that data by looking at which discounts that they want. The majority of our discounts are about 5% or less. And if they win a 5% discount and they never convert, then that means that this person is probably not that price sensitive. But if she's a person who is willing to take a 5% discount and convert that into a purchase every time, then there's no reason to offer her a 50% discount to convert to sale.
Great. Leslie, do you think you can get one in real quick here?
Yeah, real fast. I'm just curious, when a customer gets to the store, how do you hook them to make sure that they download the app? Well, what's the initial prompting like?
So in the store, there's a bunch of little banners, but right behind the cash register is this massive poster with our QR code and says, use our app. And the cashier points it to them.
Excellent. Well, thank you all. Really appreciate the questions. Jim, wish you the best of luck in the competition. Katie, who's our next contestant?
Ainsley Simmons will be pitching next for MeCycle, Reed. Ainsley is co-founder of MeCycle and is from Larchmont, New York.
MeCycle is helping reinvent the recycling process and making it fun, easy, and profitable. Ainsley, I'll let you take it from here.
Thanks, Reed. Hi, I'm Ainsley, co-founder of MeCycle. MeCycle is reinventing return recycling. You might not know, but there are two main recycling systems in the US. Curbside, super convenient, but mixes everything in one bin and puts it in the back of a garbage truck, where it gets contaminated with food waste and unrecyclable items. The curbside system landfills 137 billion bottles and cans a year. Returns, where you get your money back for recycling, are not convenient. They were invented in the 80s before smartphones even existed and are somewhat of a liability for retailers and brands. They have to support the machines, dedicate return space, count bottles, issue refunds, and have labor available to man the operation. But a recent study has shown that if the return system was operating at full scale, it would only landfill 20 billion bottles and cans a year. So what if we simply modernize the return system to make it the poster child for the circular economy? What if we turned a liability into a fantastic opportunity? What if we gave consumers an app to scan their return items at home and a bin with a personalized code? They could register items and schedule a pickup when it was convenient for them. With that system, we could cut out the need to return bottles to retailers and distributors entirely. And with the data we would capture along the way, we could provide a new, unique stream of insights to brands and retailers. MeCycle's done just that. We've built the app, created the database, and piloted the system. Our over 150-person pilot in a suburb of New York City is showing consumers will happily engage with a modern return system. We've been running for a few months, and our data is showing that customers scan about 3 items a day and fill about 9 bins a year. Scans bring a wealth of data that MeCycle is using to optimize the platform each week, but scans also provide some fascinating consumer insights. With over 5,000 scans already, we can see material data, brand data, product data, location data, frequency data. We can see a lime seltzer user switch brands or retailers to stay loyal to their flavor. And the data just keeps building. As you can see from an actual screenshot of our customer dashboard, MeCycle seems addictive. Our pilot users have been scanning more and more items each week consistently for the past 10 weeks. If you're wondering what the spikes are, they're generally weekends. We think the whole household's getting in on the fun. MeCycle is profitable on each bin, with revenue coming from return system handling fees and pickup fees. Consumers also profit, with at least $5 in found money per bin, transferred via Venmo to keep or donate. MeCycle is so excited to be speaking to you today because you are in a position to help reinvent this industry. First, we'd love to work with anyone that can help us fill out our database. We want to build the most comprehensive database of recyclability associated with UPC codes. The second opportunity would be to partner with retailers that would like to test MeCycle as an alternative to their in-store return system. We create a pilot and show you how we could improve customer satisfaction and save you time and money. And finally, we'd love to work with brands that have understandably shielded away from supporting the return system of the past. We would show you and your customers how we could actually get every bottle back and make you shine as we do it. So we hope you join us. We could wait for the day that consumers stop using plastic or when policymakers create sweeping solutions. But we think with 1 million bottles going to landfills in the time we've been chatting, there's no time to waste. Thank you.
Great job, Ainsley. 2 seconds before the timer went out, and it looks like you were already getting text messages on opportunities as you were giving this presentation. Welcome to the startup world, everybody. Looks like the judges have some questions. Chris, let's go with you first. Go ahead.
Perfect. Thanks for the presentation, Ainsley. Really appreciate the passion. I guess the one question I have is around the cost, right? So is the cost for the bin, where does that come from? Have you guys thought about having the brands or the retailers, or who's really owning on that cost?
Yeah, thanks. We've built the cost of the bin, which is made out of recycled plastic, into our business model. But we would love to partner with brands if they chose to take the opportunity to sponsor them.
Rich, I saw you had your paddle up as well for a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, great job, Ainsley. And my question is around consumer behavior. Changing consumer behavior is so hard, and single stream is so easy. And it still leaves you with the feeling of like, great, I did my job for the planet, even if it gets thrown away. So how do you change consumer behavior to incentivize them? $5 a month doesn't seem like enough to change that.
Yeah, so we get that question all the time. But what I would point to is the fact that consumers actually, the word is getting out that curbside is landfilling far more than you hope or expect. And the consumers that are diligently recycling really want their stuff to get recycled. So when we've approached customers with the message that we promise our stuff will not go to landfill, they're absolutely willing to invest the minute a day to make sure that they're doing it right.
Awesome. Leslie, I saw you had a question. Why don't you round us out?
Yeah, I really appreciate the solution here. Really like what y'all are up to. My question is, have you guys considered other methods of scanning the item going into the bin, maybe mounting a camera to the bin itself so that there's a little bit less friction throwing the item away?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, we actually started by thinking about technologies like that. But the reason we went with an app to get this business off the ground is it was the most flexible way to get started. We think there's so much opportunity to build really cool stuff that could do this at home and out of home. We just need to get a little further along, but we love that idea.
Excellent. Well, thank you, judges, for the questions. Ainsley, thank you for a great presentation and for helping make our planet a better place. Katie, who's our next contestant?
Our next contestant is Catherine Sizoff from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Catherine is the CEO of Strela Biotech.
Strela leverages sensors to provide that missing piece of data to the produce supply chain, delivering better produce and reducing food waste. Catherine, it's all yours.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Catherine, and I'm the founder of Strela. We're a team of 6 full-time and 2 part-time folks headquartered in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. To date, we've raised about $3.6 million from a number of awesome investors, including Yamaha, Catapult, and Union, which are Kleiner Deep Tech spinouts, and Mark Cuban. 1/3 of all food is wasted before it's consumed, and we believe that this is due to 2 inefficiencies in our food supply chain. The first one is a lack of data about the quality of a perishable product, and the second one is siloed supply chain players, meaning that any data that is generated is very rarely passed down to different players as the product moves. So in order for us to solve this problem, we've created a technology that allows us to predict the ripeness of produce. If you've ever put an unripe banana next to a ripe one, you see that it ripens a lot faster than if it was by itself. This is because fruits communicate with each other using gases as they ripen. We've created technology that allows us to intercept those communications, and we couple that with some IoT to make our customers' lives easier, along with some actionable decision making in order to help our customers make better supply chain decisions. Our initial market is in apple and pear packing, which is where fruits are stored for a long period of time. Fun fact, an apple in a grocery store can be over a year old. A typical packer that we work with has about 100 storage rooms, each filled with millions of pieces of fruit, and they lose between 10 to 40% of their crop every single year because they lack data about where their ripest produce is located. We install sensors in these rooms and we monitor the produce as it ripens, and we can tell a packer up to 2 months in advance of the fruit spoiling that it's going to do so. This gives them plenty of time to communicate with their marketing group, find a buyer for the produce, and send it down the supply chain before it goes bad. Our initial efforts have been fruitful. We save our customers between $40,000 to the value of the entire room every single year, and we reorganize about 35% of all inventory. We currently work with 60% of the apple and pear market in the United States, and we've had 0 churn year on year. We're now pursuing additional downstream inventory management opportunities in 2 specific markets. The first one is in retail. Retailers currently manage their inventory on a first in, first out basis, meaning that the first truck that arrives at the distribution center is the first truck that's sent to the grocery store without taking into consideration maturity. We're currently partnering with a major retailer, and we've resequenced 50% of all of their apple inventory and reduced their shrink by 20% in a single month. The second market that we're exploring is import, so monitoring overseas shipping containers as they travel so that by the time they arrive at port, we can let an importer know which container has the ripest produce so they can make better decisions about their perishable inventory. There's a lot of additional opportunities for our technology as well, whether that's monitoring additional types of produce, such as avocados, bananas, mangoes, or kiwi, whether that's exploring additional geographies, such as Australasia, South America, and Europe, or looking at other sectors of the supply chain, one notable one being e-commerce. It's really easy to supply that perfect paper towel to a customer, but it's very difficult to get a nice avocado every single time. And that's somewhere that Strela can really help. As a broad vision, we see ourselves as being the #1 data provider, a very trusted and reliable partner, where we see a lot of synergies with GS1 as well. We're seeking connections and partners to supply chain players. If you're interested, my contact information is below. Thank you.
Wow, what a great presentation. So excited about the potential impact on our food supplies in this world. Let's go to the judges for some questions. All right, I see Leslie and Lauren and Chris. Leslie, let's go with you first.
Really great presentation, super impressed. I'd like to ask you more about how do your sensors work? Can you tell us a little bit more about that technology? Is there anything proprietary about it? Did you develop it? Please tell us more.
Yeah, so basically we intercept communications between fruits as they're ripening, but it's very difficult to do that. So essentially we've created IP that allows us to sensitively and accurately measure this. And the way that we've done that is we've hacked the way fruits worked and turned them into essentially a digital signal. So we use the same mechanisms that fruits use to sense and signal ripening, but what we've done is instead of having, a physiological output, we have a digital one, and that's our intellectual property.
Excellent. Lauren, what's your question for Catherine?
Catherine, great presentation. This is fascinating to me. I'm curious, tell us about your background and what led you to this technology?
Yeah, my background is actually in molecular bio and neuroscience, actually, and I was procrastinating instead of working on my grad school applications. And one day I read that 1/3 of all food is wasted before it's consumed, which was like the most ridiculous number I've ever heard in my whole entire life. And so kind of dropped everything, dropped grad school, and started exploring about potential solutions. And Strela kind of came out of that.
Awesome. I think we have time for one quick question from Chris. Go ahead.
Great. Yeah, thanks. First of all, I don't ever want to eat an apple if it's been there for a year. So thanks for making us aware of that. I guess my question is, have you guys also thought about earlier in the supply chain with traceability and kind of where these products also came from?
Yes, absolutely. So we think that connecting different supply chain players with data will help us address that traceability question, especially upstream. And by the way, the apples that last a year are not that bad. They're just stored in an oxygenless and cold environment, so it's generally pretty natural. So it's okay, I promise.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you, Catherine. We're halfway through the competition, and I can't wait to see what comes next. I wish you the best of luck in this. And Katie, who's our next contestant?
Next up is the CEO of Otelo, Ronit Meir, making the pitch. Ronit is from Ramat Hasharon, Israel.
Online purchases meets offline returns. Otelo believes they have built a win-win solution where everyone benefits. Ronit, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. So we're here today to talk about online product returns. This is an incredible challenge that not many people have given too much thought about up until now. So people are buying more, and the thing is that they're also returning more. And there are two main challenges associated with online product returns. Number one, the devastating cost to the bottom line for retailers. And number two, and kind of less spoken about, is the devastating impact on the planet. Let's talk about it. In terms of the bottom line, 30% of online product returns, of online purchases are returned. This is millions and millions of items every single year, and it translates to very excessive logistics costs, excessive resale and user acquisition costs, and did you know $30 billion of returns-related fraud? Overall, this is a $500 billion global challenge, and it is growing all the time. The other side, a dark side to the returns, is that 50% of all returns are either trashed, sent to landfills, or liquidated, where they're sold for next to nothing. Moreover, these returns are associated with printing, packaging, and excessive carbon emissions. However you look at the online product returns challenge, it is unsustainable. And here is where Otello comes in. We have a post-purchase holistic returns management experience where you as the shopper can buy anywhere online and then you can return anywhere online. How does this work? When you buy an item that you don't want to keep, instead of returning it back to the online store, Otello calculates what is the best possible route for this item and where it can be resold at the highest possible price. We offer a returns and exchange portal, eligibility that enables the retailers to decide where to return the return, how to send it, and what to do with it in the first place. We also offer inspection and validation for these returns to ensure that these items are authentic, validated, and resellable. Moreover, we give unique insights into data returns, retailers, and returners on the system. We transform authorized retailers to become return and resell spots for the return. So this platform is something that is building a holistic system which begins with a simple scan of the barcode, and that takes you to the possibility to see returns as opportunities, advantages, benefits, and a game changer for your brand. What do you gain with Otello? We basically have a mission statement that everybody wins. Shoppers get a seamless, free green return with a same-day refund. Online retailers, 20% reduction of reverse logistics costs, new unique data insights. We also believe in invigorating the main street and giving smaller businesses an opportunity. So new quality foot traffic, new sources of revenues are being driven in by returners bringing in returns. Are you a retail partner? Are you a technological partner? Well, we're scaling up here in Otello. And if you're interested to reduce your reverse logistics costs, if you're interested to really increase your profits around returns, and if you want to do something great in the world, not good, but great, we're inviting you to join us. Let's stay in touch and remember to return it forward with Otello.
Excellent, excellent, Ronit. Thank you so much. Let's go to the judges now for some questions. All right, before we get to the questions, Chris, it looks like your background changed. What happened?
With 2 kids and a puppy during the pandemic, sometimes things don't go as planned. So got a little change of scenery.
Oh, into a new room. Well, I'm glad that it worked out, and that was a fast move for you. With not a lot of time here, let's jump into the Q&A with Lauren first. Lauren, go ahead.
Ronit, thanks. Great presentation. I have just a question on what product categories you take returns on, and are there certain categories that you do not?
Great question. So our main focus is fashion and accessories, and here we have a few live customers already. The potential here is incredible for almost all retail opportunities. However, there are categories where it is more complicated, such as foods categories, medications, or even if you consider electronics, where liabilities are something that need to be taken into consideration.
Excellent, excellent. Leslie, what question do you have for Ronit?
Ronit, great presentation. I was wondering if you could clarify the cash flows between you, the customer, and the retailer just a little bit more for us.
Sure, absolutely. So our cash flow at the moment, our pricing model is as follows. There is a transaction-based fee for all returns that are processed on our side, and this is true for both the customer and for ourselves. In other words, our customer is the enterprise customer. They bring the online and the offline side together, and together we calculate the returns that are processed. Thank you, Leslie.
Okay, and I think we have time for one more. Rich, why don't you go ahead?
There must be billions and billions of SKUs, and then you get into variations on sizing and coloring and all of that. How do you manage that data for your retailers?
That's an incredible question, and I want to point out that it's a unique solution because we are able to look at the micro level, including the level of the SKUs. We basically manage it using integration with our customers, and we do this with very, very simply, very easily. We do it as the returns enter. We don't have to get all this information in advance. It's something that we are working on, and we have a lot of support from our customers, and they're very eager to use our eligibility software that will enable them to really give an optimal route for every single SKU.
Excellent. That's all the time we have. Ronit, I wish you the best of luck in the competition. And Katie, who's our next contestant?
Now pitching for Brightly, COO Jim Sellers of Malibu, California.
Brightly is taking the smart locker to the next level. Their system intelligently streamlines the buy online, pick up in store process, allowing retailers to transform this service from a cost center to a revenue center. Jim, take it away.
Thank you, Reed. It's an honor to share our innovative vision for retailers, solving one of their biggest pain points, buy online, pick up in store. Brightly is transforming the smart locker space from providing a utility to a highly engaging, dynamically brandable customer experience. A customer experience that brings moments of joy to any space, all while providing retailers with a newfound revenue stream. Due to COVID-19 and the dramatic shift to buy online, pick up in store, projected to be a $500 billion sales channel by 2025, is giving retailers a rare opportunity to innovate and overcome the challenges presented by the rapidly growing space by providing the smartest, safest, and most enjoyable shopping experience in the world. Because after all, the retail experience should be this, not this. Introducing Brightly, delivering an innovative pickup experience with one-of-a-kind digital interactions that delight customers, turning them into brand evangelists. Brightly's AI-powered retail technology empowers customers to pick up their orders in seconds, not minutes, provides a deeper customer understanding while delivering predictive upselling opportunities to increase top-line revenue, all while saving retailers tens of millions of dollars in increased employee efficiency, inventory management, and minimizing wrong order pickup and theft. We separate ourselves from our competition by pioneering the Brightly interactive digital ads platform, introduction of a personalized pickup order experience that allows customers to select an order pickup identifier so they can swipe right to grab their order on the go, AI business intelligence, and UVC disinfection technology. In our product roadmap, we are completing the build-out of our master system prototype with patents pending surrounding our screen technology and processes, and we have multiple corporate partners considering us for a proof of concept pilot. Brightly and GS1 are connecting to identify the location of the customer, the product purchased, and the retail location in the real world via UPC code tracking. This allows us to create a predictive three-dimensional customer profile for our retailers, strengthening the retailers' relations with the clients. Our technology seamlessly integrates into the retailer's platform and communicates directly with the customers. Employees simply need to place an order inside, and Brightly does the rest. Brightly solves multiple pain points across all retail verticals, and we are currently targeting QSR food and coffee, activewear, premium retail, and big box retail. In addition, we've just brought on Ron Turner, principal at Gensler, to introduce Brightly into stadiums and airports. The team is composed of serial founders who have founded companies like Tagger Media, powering AI business intelligence for VaynerMedia and Omnicom, Man-Made Innovations, creating IoT products for Teal Drones and many others, Sellers Markets, an award-winning QSR from San Francisco, and MSI Design, which creates point-of-purchase displays for Nike, Under Armour, and Adidas. And we've also worked with Process AG that produces consumer packaged goods for Victoria's Secret and Jessica Alba's Honest Company. As discussed, BOPUS is projected to become a $500 billion sales channel by 2025. Forrester projects Home Depot will save $57 million per year in employee efficiency with the introduction of smart lockers. The Trade Desk estimates that Walmart has a $3 to $5 billion in-store advertising revenue opportunity, and smart lockers can increase the speed of throughput at the drive-thru for QSRs by 10 to 20%. In closing,
Jim, I'm sorry, that's all the time we have. We were so close. You were on the last slide. You were almost there, but let's see what our judges have to say. All right, I see we have two questions from the judges. Chris, let's go with you first.
Yeah, Jim, great presentation. What's the applicability to this on a global scale, do you think?
Great question. Thank you very much. I believe that it has global appeal for a number of reasons. One, it is the first way you can start to disinfect products to make it a safer environment for consumers and for retailers. Second is that it's a really engaging way to bring people back in the store post-pandemic. Third is that we have very powerful AI technology that allows us to help you understand your customers better from a predictive nature, whether that might be when they want to buy something, what they want to buy, how they want to bundle things. So we think it has legs outside of just the UVC disinfection technology.
Great. We have about 1 more minute for questions. Leslie, what's your question?
So as I look at your solution, I see an advertising play, a disinfectant play, a hardware play, and an AI play. That's a lot of CapEx. Can you talk about how you're passing those costs to the retailer and what your profits look like?
Yeah, what we wanted to do is we wanted to have a total retail solution that took into account what the retailer's real pain points were. We have a simple SaaS monthly fee for each unit. We have which is relatively low and competitive. We have a low per use fee of 4.5%, which has us well positioned in between same day delivery. And then we also have a 15% fee on the gross revenue that flows through the advertising platform, kind of like the trade desk.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that's all the time we have for Q&A right now. Jim, good luck to you in the competition. Katie, who's our next contestant?
Say hello to Ravish Majithia. Ravish is from Framingham, Massachusetts, and is the founder and CEO of Magnomer.
Magnomer is approaching the recycling industry from a completely different angle. Their ink solution could be the game changer that we've all been looking for. Ravish, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Jackson, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ravish Majithia, and I'm the founder and CEO at Magnomer. As you may all know, the plastics recycling phase is going through unprecedented change right now. Regulation and public commitment by consumer brands is leading to an extremely high demand for recycled plastic. Specifically, looking at recycled PET, the graphic on the right shows that the current global capacity for rPET is far below what the expected public commitment is by consumer brands, and even below the required rPET content in our bottled beverages mandated by state laws such as California and Washington by 2030. The reason for these low supply of recycled plastic lies in the inability of us to sort our packaging itself. It may come as a shock to you that even after collection, only 1 in 6 bottles are actually recycled back to bottle grade plastic. And that is because things such as labels on bottles are hard to sort away, leading to low recycling yields. At Magnomer, we are facing this problem head on. Our ink technology is a directly printable ink on all kinds of flexible packaging, ranging from labels such as shrink sleeves all the way to multi-layer packaging. Our inks are magnetic in nature, which allow recyclers to use existing magnets in their operation to simply pull away and positively sort the undesirable packaging categories, such as the label, away from a bottle in existing recycling processes. Quick facts about our magnetic ink technology platform. They are, first of all, brand friendly. They are drop-in inks that integrate into current package printing. They can be either color or transparent. As you can see, the 2 labels on the right, they use standard pink and white inks, but the label on the bottom has our Magmark SS coating, which is a completely transparent coat that does not change the overall look and feel of the package. More importantly, because they are magnetic in nature, they can now be magnetically separated away, leading to less contamination and traceable and measurable recycling yields at the very end of the supply chain. A quick technology demo here. Our Magmark inks can be printed commercially using current existing commercial printing processes. Label and bottling operations see no changes. When it comes to recycling, the magnetization allows the label flake, which is shred when the bottle is recycled, to be separated away from the bottle flake using existing magnets in recycling processes. What you will see here is a magnetic pulley that is typically present in a recycling plant. A commingled label flake is pulled away from the bottle flake by simple magnets such as this one, leading to very high degrees of separation. A close look here and you will see that the magnet at the end of the pulley is attracting the magnetic label flake away, leaving behind high quality recycled PET flake. This technology has now been proven commercially. In conjunction with our consumer brand customer and partner, we have printed over 500,000 bottle labels and tested over 10 tons of PET bottles in commercial recycling facilities in the US. And it is not just one simple label category alone. The Magmark Ink technology platform can be applied across a variety of different packaging verticals, ranging from shampoo bottles all the way to multi-layer packages. To recap and to summarize, we are bringing in a new approach to impart sortability in plastic packaging, which allows for traceable recycling and with commercially validated technology with brands such as PepsiCo. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Wow, what a presentation. Love the fact that you made it just with a second to spare, really pushing the envelope there. Let's go to our judges for some Q&A. All right, Lauren, I see you have a question. Let's start with you first.
Thanks. Thanks, Ravish, for that presentation. It's an interesting take on sustainability. Can you tell me what the difference in cost is when you implement the magnetic inks?
Yes, our cost is very comparable to standard colored inks. They add only about 0.5% to 4% of the overall cost of the package, and very similar to any marketing change on the label that a consumer brand would do. Thank you.
Excellent. Rich, I saw you had a question. Why don't you go next?
Yeah, I had two, Lauren. You got my first one, so that was on my mind as well. Second part of that, is there any change required at the recycling plant in order to pick up these pieces?
That's a really great question. As a part of our commercial pilot with PepsiCo, we actually released a survey to all PET recyclers in North America and found that all of them have at least 3 magnets in line already. So we are really leveraging a current existing piece of infrastructure to deliver a value of separation by the simple change in overall design of the package.
Excellent. And it looks like we got about 1 minute left for questions. Chris, why don't you go?
Yeah, Ravish, one quick question was, when you think about your involvement with GS1, what are the initiatives that you're partaking in, and how are you thinking about the standards of GS1?
Yeah, so that's a great question. One of the big virtues of the technology is our ability to actually measure the overall recycling yields that happen at the end of the life cycle of this package. So as a part of our pilots that we have been able to not only separate out these undesirable label components, but actually measure what we separate. This means that for consumer brands and for label manufacturers, you are now getting traceable recycling, which we believe is a really good fit with what the overall mission of GS1 is.
Excellent, excellent. Great answers, great questions. I believe we are on to our last contestant. And Katie, who is that?
And now to wrap things up, here's Scott Sklar, CRO from Warwick, New York for 1O.
1O is looking to make online shopping better for consumers, brands, and publishers, allowing e-commerce to truly happen anywhere you want it to. Scott, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Today, I'd like to introduce you to 1O and what we're calling frictionless e-commerce. And essentially what frictionless e-commerce is, we allow brands to transact anywhere across the digital ecosystem, making any conversation about their brand an immediate point of sale. Since the early days of the internet, the complexity of purchasing has always been the problem. You have to click out of your content, you have to get redirected to a brand's website, add credit cards and your shipping address, and then hopefully after a couple minutes, you have your product. That is a problem. And that's exactly what 1O found the solution for. If a consumer is in an ad or content and they discover your product, they receive a 1O shop in that same content, they get the opportunity to purchase the product, and they are still left in the same exact content that they found the product in. And that is what we're calling frictionless e-commerce, allowing an immediate point of sale to happen for the brand while they're still leveraging their same technology and e-commerce stack. 1O is completely platform agnostic and can work anywhere, whether it's in a content placement, a banner, a video unit, out of home connected TV, or even direct mail. We are fully responsive to any screen size with one simple integration. So let me show you how that works. You can see here, this is standard content that you'd find on the internet. And this particular article, these three influencers are going to talk about their makeup regimen each morning. Tyler's up first, and she recommends Bare Minerals. You see when we click Buy Now, 1.0 populates, and within 1.0 you find all the information you'd find on Macy's.com, whether it's the ingredients, SPF, or application. But you also have all the purchase mechanics as well, whether it's price, shipping, or returns and cancellations. As a consumer, it's very easy. I only need my pointer finger to complete a purchase. And as you see, as I'm clicking through the boxes, immediately autofill kicks in, which is part of my browser, and allows me to fill all of my information in immediately. You can see as a consumer, I don't need to touch nothing but my mouse or device in order to purchase a product seamlessly and easily. Macy's is collecting all of my purchase information and credit card, and you can see just like that, I've just ordered Bare Minerals from Macy's while on Bustle, and I am still on the Bustle website. This is what we're calling the e-commerce of the future, allowing product discovery and product purchase to happen anywhere on the internet ecosystem. You can also call it the first true impulse buy of the internet. I mentioned before, and I'll mention it again, 1.0 is platform agnostic. With a simple integration with the brand, we can power virtually any clickable asset across the digital ecosystem, whether it be mobile, desktop, video, display, social, or affiliate marketing. We're different because we allow all of these pieces to be transparently viewed by the publisher or content curator and the brand to show who is buying a product, from what pieces of content, and when. For the first time ever, publishers or content curators can actually see how their content performs, while the brand keeps all the PII and data completely to themselves. That is the dashboard that we offer, and that is called the double-sided dashboard, where the brand gets all of the purchase intent from all of their partners in a singular platform, comparing apples to apples, while the publishers get to understand what they're selling in real time as well. We're a win for brands, publishers, and consumers because we allow consumer ease. We're agnostic. The data belongs to the brand. The publisher keeps the power, but the brand really keeps all the power in the sales funnel, understanding what's selling, when, where, and why. So does it work? The answer is absolutely. It works amazing. In our early case studies, we saw a 200% increase in conversion rate. And all we did was swap out a URL redirect with a 1.0 shop, and we saw 200% increase in conversion. We're calling this
That's
the
it,
win.
Scott. I'm sorry, the time has run out. And for the folks at home, you don't have any idea how hard it is to pitch in 4 minutes or less. Let's go to the Q&A from the judges right now. All right, I see we have 2 questions. Let's go with Rich Malloy first.
Great. Scott, great presentation. Love this. Who is responsible for loading the products into 1.0, and who pays for it? How do you make money?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Great question. 1.0 operates as a standalone marketing technology, meaning that we integrate directly with the brand's back-end, payment gateway, and e-commerce stack. That allows us to build all of the brand's products, all of the catalogs, or SKUs in the catalog, into 1.0 shops seamlessly and immediately. From there, those 1.0 shops are then sent out to the distribution channels at the brand's choosing. And 1.0 also brings distribution channels to the table for sale as well through an affiliate model. We charge traditionally a % of cart, and that depends on how much volume we see from a specific brand. We are fully performance-based. We do not ask for any upfront fees or any external fees unless a product is actually sold through a 1.0 shop.
Excellent question. Let's go to Leslie for the last question.
Scott, great presentation. Really enjoyed it. Can you walk me through the experience for a consumer that's encountering 1.0 for the first time?
Yes, absolutely. For a consumer that's experiencing 1.0 for the first time, they're going to receive the same experience as if they encountered 1.0 for the 10th time. We do not need any extra software adopted by the publisher or the consumer in order for 1.0 to work. So when a consumer runs into a 1.0 shop, as soon as they click on the call to action, the 1.0 shop will expand. They will walk through the process, again, using autofill settings on their browser and device. Their address and credit card will auto-populate within the browser, and they will have a seamless purchase within 3 to 4 clicks, all powered and taken in by the brand directly.
That is all the time we have for questions. Thank you, Scott, for a great presentation, and thank you, judges. Well, there you have it. We've heard from all 8 contestants, and now it's up to the judges to decide who our top 3 winners will be. But don't forget, you can vote for the audience favorite. All votes are needed in by 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I want to wish all the contestants the very best of luck, and to the judges too. You do not have an easy task at hand. Make sure to tune in tomorrow when we'll be announcing the winners live. We had another great competition this year with 8 exciting, innovative ideas. I know the judges had a really hard time making their selection. The top vote getter will be named this year's champion, winning the $10,000 cash prize and a 1-year bronze subscription to the GS1 US Solution Partner Program. The second place winner will take home $4,000 and third place will take home $2,000. So here we go. Without any further ado.
There you go, sir.
Thank you very much. I have the envelopes. And in third place, with a fun and easy, profitable, and innovative way to recycle, the $2,000 prize goes to MeCycle. Ainsley Simmons, co-founder. Congratulations, Ainsley. All right. In second place, also in the recycling industry, for a completely different ink recycling solution, the $4,000 prize goes to Magnomer. Ravish Majithia, founder and CEO. Congratulations, Ravish.
Thank you.
All right. And now, the 2021 champion of the GS1 US Startup Lab Pitch Competition and winner of the $10,000 cash prize, Strela. Congratulations, Catherine Sizoff, CEO and co-founder. Now, for those of you that did not see the Startup Lab Pitch Competition, please go check it out. It was really good. Strela has developed a sensor technology, proprietary, that collects and analyzes critical data to help get better quality fresh foods onto the shelves and into the hands of consumers while drastically reducing food waste. Catherine, congratulations. What are you going to do with the money is what everyone wants to know.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to go out and get some more fruit. Do a celebratory lunch with my team.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, we know that Strela's system is already in use by about 60% of the apple and pear market. You know, where do you see your sensor technology having the greatest impact moving forward?
I think avocados. Every time I go to the grocery store, I have to pick out 5 avocados to get 2 good ones. So I think improving quality on that front could be a really big deal for consumers.
I would be first in line for that. I love avocados. It's good for my heart, my cholesterol, and I just love them, but they're expensive and I hate wasting them as well. Catherine, is there anything else you want to add before we transition here?
No, I think that actually that last comment is exactly on the nose, is that no one likes food waste. No one likes wasting it. And I think a lot of technologies can help solve that problem. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, well, congratulations again. And congratulations to all of our winners and all of our contestants. We start off with a very large list of companies and we whittle it down to a smaller one. It goes to our selection committee and then they select the final 8. So it's not an easy process to get through and it's a lot of work by everyone. If you want to find out more about our winners and all of our contestants, please go to the event platform under Startup Lab. And I just want to thank everyone that's been involved, especially our judges and the team that put this all together. Thanks for joining us today. And please Bring us your ideas. We'll see you next year.